Hello, world. Welcome to another week of Golf Subpar. Colt Knost, Drew Stoltz just wrapped up the Zozo Championship at Sherwood. And the man, Patrick Cantlay, took down two stalwarts, Jon Rahm and Justin Thomas, this year.
Yes, look at the top of that leaderboard going in the back nine. I was pretty convinced it was going to be Rahm or JT. I was like, man, this is the two. We've been waiting to see a battle like this, for a long time. And then out of nowhere, those guys kind of put it in neutral, and Cantlay kept pressing, shoots a little final or back nine 33, comes out with a one-stroke win. I don't know if, we talked about this earlier. I don't know if you can say that those two guys lost it and Patrick Cantlay, didn't win it. He absolutely kept his foot down, shot 33 on the back nine, final rounds -7. But those guys, that's not what I was expecting on the back nine from those two guys, at least not both of them.
No, and I mean, going into the back nine, first off, Patrick Cantlay played fantastic. But to have Jon Rahm and Justin Thomas both shoot even par on that back nine, especially Justin Thomas, who was 15 under on the back nine through the first three rounds. I thought Justin Thomas was the guy to beat, but, he made some bad swings coming down the stretch and just wasn't able to get it done. But you got to give it to Patrick Cantlay. The guy went his first 61 holes bogey-free. Made 2 bogeys all week. Listen, this is a big-time win, his third one. I wouldn't say it's quite as big as the Memorial, but it's still a pretty big one to go along with the Shriners in Las Vegas. But, big things expected. He moves in the top 10 in the world. I think we'll see these three guys, Patrick Cantlay, Justin Thomas, and Jon Rahm, battling it out down the stretch a lot in the future.
Yeah, but Cantlay's a guy that I've loved I've liked him for a long time. I feel like I don't want to say underperformed, but just looking at his talent, you're like, why does this guy not win a ton of times? He seems to always be there. He had a little rough stretch towards the end of this last season, but typically so consistent. He's a guy that I would put very similar vein to like Xander Schauffele. Just zero weaknesses in their game, very soft-spoken, don't get all the media attention because they're not out there giving interviews and things like that. They don't want the attention. But from tee to green, just all-around golf game, I mean, he's phenomenal. He jumps into the top 10 in the world golf rankings, like you said, and peaking at a very nice time. Almost won the Shriners, too, just a few weeks ago at the 54-hole lead. He was the guy that everybody pointed to in that event, was like, that's the guy to win. He'd won there before, didn't get it done, and now he bounces back and beat an unbelievable field. I mean, minus DJ, pretty much everybody was there.
Yeah, you mentioned Xander Schauffele. Both those guys, him and Patrick Cantlay, are an agent's dream.
Oh.
Because they never say anything stupid. They don't say much at all, but they're never gonna get themselves in trouble.
There's no endorsement deal that comes to either one of them. They're like, all right, just don't tweet anything stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get drunk and start firing stuff off. They're going to be just fine. They're going to be exactly what you expect. But I think that's part of the reason why they don't get as much of attention. Sure, neither of them I don't think have won at the clip that they could win because they are so talented, but they also aren't the guys grabbing headlines every single week saying things about other players or whatever. They just go about their business, play well every single week, it seems like. And that's why they don't get quite all the love. But I expect big things from Patrick Cantlay this year. I think now he's going to be a factor going, in terms of betting. He'll be one of the guys higher up there on the boards going into Augusta and just getting that first one. In over a year, it's been a long time coming for him, and just that little shot of confidence, I think, goes a long way.
As our good friend Mark Mulder would say, the ceiling is the roof.
The ceiling is the roof for him. Yeah.
Not sure what that means. I feel like good things are coming.
But I like it. I'm going to continue to say it. Yeah.
Well, and we're 2 weeks away from the Masters. And I tell you what, a man that didn't play this past week, still making news. Mr. Bryson DeChambeau sending out a little tweet and Instagram story showing that he hit his first ball over 400 yards in the air.
Just a little 400 carry. Just, hey, I know I'm not playing this week, but here's a little reminder. I'm out here, I'm working, and oh, by the way, I'm hitting it 400 in the air. And also, this isn't my 48-inch driver. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, finally, we get to, we're seeing what this 48-incher could do. Turns out it wasn't. If you do look, though, at the TrackMan or Flight Scope or whatever it was 20-mile-an-hour downwind. So, all right, that wasn't disclosed. You have to kind of look to find that. Was 20 mile an hour downwind? I don't care. 400 yards in the air is 400 yards in the air.
So it was a little cooler.
Yeah, cooler.
Which, obviously, this guy's very, very smart. He's kind of looking like, to me, it looks like he's foreshadowing to Augusta where he thinks it's going to be a little chillier, a little breezier. And like you said, 20 mile an hour, that's a lot of wind, obviously. But still, 400 in the air, down.
That's different. Someone sent out a tweet like, what's he going to do on 375-yard par fours?
Yeah.
He doesn't have a club.
But he's the betting favorite right now, and I mean, with numbers like this, I mean, look out. It's going to be very interesting. I am a little nervous with Bryson about if he does go to this 48-inch driver with no competitive rounds before the Masters.
Yeah, that's a big change. To add, 2.5 inches to a driver? I mean, that's a different swing. That's a different tempo. That's different everything. So to not have any rounds, competitive rounds under your belt going into a place like Augusta National and trying to trot that thing out. I mean, I know I'll have the practice rounds, but practice round's not the same as teeing it up on Thursday morning with a club that you've never played in competition before. So interested to see what he does. Yeah. Also, there's just so much talk around him, and he is the betting favorite, but it's like rarely before, maybe Tiger Woods, rarely have we gone into a Masters and been like, it's win or bust for this guy. You know what I mean? Like, he's in the position now where, like, if he doesn't win, they'll be like, told you it wouldn't work, you know. But, you know, guys like Jordan Spieth, who we just had on, said it's his to lose, basically. That's a tough situation to be in, first or nothing.
You still around there. You still gotta putt it. And he's a great putter. He's 10th on the PGA Tour in putting. But you know what? Everybody has off weeks.
Sure.
So you still got to put everything together. It's not like if he just goes out and stripes
And
the
hits
driver
it
off the
far.
tee, he's going to win.
Yeah.
He's going to have a damn good chance. But he's still got to putt it.
And there's some other dudes right now. Look at the leaderboard this past week. Cantlay, JT, Rahm, DJ hasn't gotten to play for the last couple of weeks, but he's playing some pretty damn good golf. There's a lot of the biggest names in golf who are trending right now headed in. It's not like it's just like, you know, he's not going to have any competition out there. I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves in terms of giving this thing to him. I think he absolutely could go out there and do something weird, but you still got to go do it, and there's still a lot of guys that can make birdies out there.
Yep. Well, our guest this week, we're not going to get to him quite yet, but look for him to be a little dark horse around Augusta National.
Yes.
I love this guy's game a lot. But first, we got to open up the mailbag. Producer Mark, what do we got this week?
Well, we have perhaps, I think, the biggest fan of the Honda Classic in America, Nicholas Thomas, who reached out to Sleaze on IG, and he said he's been the last 7 years, and he wants to know if you think it gets disrespected considering how much players struggle there.
I definitely don't disrespect it. I'm guessing since he's been there the last 7 years, he's seen me soup a few around the bear trap. There's no doubt about that. But, I mean, it's one of the, you know, fairest, hardest tests on the PGA Tour. It's a fantastic golf course, one that you look forward to every year, but you're scared at the same time. It's one of those ones that you feel like you played a major at the end of the week. You're so exhausted. I mean, every single hole just slaps you in the face. It's a great week.
Probably the hardest closing stretch in golf, arguably, coming around that bear trap at the end. I mean, there's disaster lurking at every hole. I'll tell you who doesn't disrespect the place. That's me. I'll tell you what, I hate the place because that's basically where my career died. I had final stage of Q school there a number of years ago, and the 11th hole was making my turn shot even on the front. Made a smooth little 7-burger on number 11, hit it in the left rough, tried to go for it, spare you the details, but there's a little chalk outline in the left rough of my body. I think this is where Sleaze's career died. Took a little shot to the face, right to the nose, never recovered. And that place, by the way, I had to go play 5 more days after that, too. I was like, dude, it's just a death march around that place. So nobody will respect that place more than me. I think it's really, really hard. I had a tough time with it, but, I mean, it is one of the harder venues on the PGA Tour, and I would say probably the hardest place to close out a golf tournament for sure.
Yeah, it's really fun to watch. I enjoy watching it more than playing it. There's no doubt about that.
Dude, I get cold sweats just watching. I'm like, oh, there's the hole. There's that son of a bitch.
Well, thank you so much for the question, but Sleaze, it's time to get to our special guest this week. Like I said, a man who could be a dark horse around Augusta National, one of the best iron players on the tour, ranked top 30 in the world, Abe Ancer.
Yeah, and probably a guy that you'd look at and put on the short list of best players to not have won on the PGA Tour right now. He seems to be hanging around the hoop a lot. He's had some close calls, but just the way he hits the golf ball, he played really well at the Shriners. His iron play is incredible. If he gets that putter cooperating, I mean, Augusta's second shot golf course. Wouldn't count this guy out, but really fun to sit down and talk with Abe this week.
Yeah, or he might be on my list of guys who I'm surprised is on the PGA Tour. You'll find out when you listen to this. All right, before we get to our guest, Abe Ancer, a word from our official sponsor, Rockform. Sleaze, we've both used these things. We drive the members nuts. The things can go crazy loud. You can put 2 of them together. The magnets, they're never going to fall off the golf cart. I absolutely love them.
Love these things. They keep the cup holder available for things that are more important. Also, you can link it to your phone, so you take a little call. Oh, the wifey or the girlfriend calls. Hey, when are you going to be home? You're really on hole 17, about to finish up. Like, oh, we're on 11. We're behind a really slow group. It's going to be about 2 or 3 more hours till we get out there. So this thing's awesome. You and I have both used them, like you said, and couldn't be higher on Rockform.
And like you said, also waterproof. A little cocktail happens to spill.
Accidents
no problem at all. But if you want to get one of these amazing speakers, go to rockform.com and enter code SUBPAR for 25% off. That's code SUBPAR at ROKFORM.com for 25% off Rockform speakers. All right, here he is, Abe Ancer on Golf Subpar.
All right, well, here we go. We are now in the building with Abe Ancer, 25th ranked player in the world, sipping on a little Flecha Azul, your tequila company. It could get a little bit sloppy in here.
Why not?
But anything that you drink, if it makes me hit my irons like you, I'm going to drink a gallon of this tonight.
That's a good point.
I mean? Here's to you, baby. Thanks for doing it,
Cheers to
man.
that, for
There
sure.
you go.
By the way, speaking of your iron play, you are with Mura, and you are one of the best iron players on the PGA Tour. I was looking at some of your stats earlier. When you finished second at Hilton Head, you hit 90% of your greens for the week. That is asinine to me. Like
That was wild.
I mean, those are the smallest greens on the PGA Tour, and you hit 90%.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, and I didn't even think about it. I wasn't even until they mentioned it on the telecast. I looked at my stats. I was like, man, and I didn't win.
Yeah,
and I was like,
that's another point.
You know, and like I play good, and you know, Sundays like you play good, and sometimes you think, oh, that could have been enough, but like I thought that was gonna be definitely enough because I shot 6 under the last day. Played good. There was a lot of putts that definitely could have gone in. But, man, I mean,
I don't know what
else can you do,
Simpson
dude?
clutched up nicely and made 5 birdies in the last 6, and I was like, hats to him. I mean, he played great.
I don't know what the record for most number of greens hit around Harbortown is, but if that's not it, I don't want to know who.
I don't care
any
where
better.
you're playing. If you're hitting 90% in 72 holes, that's a joke. That might be the answer right there. But you're obviously one of the best iron players in the world. What's the golf course that you look at and say on the PGA Tour is like, this is the perfect spot for me?
Well, it would be somewhere like that, somewhere that I know you have to be in the fairway, and your targets are really small. And I didn't even know they were like the smallest greens on tour, but now that I look back, they are, and you really narrow your focus. And maybe that's what helped me, because it's not like I hit 90 or 70% of the greens all the time. There's probably courses that the greens are huge, and I hit maybe 50 of them. I don't know, but that week it just felt right. You know, I like it off the tee. I like it going to the greens. And the year prior, I didn't even play that good. I missed the cut. It was the first time that I was there. Different conditions, overseeded and stuff. But yeah, you know what? I like courses like that.
I feel like that's a good lesson for everybody listening at home, though. It's like, look, like you said, you can play a place with massive greens, and you go out there and you miss a bunch of them. But the small greens, you narrow in, and you're like, okay, middle of the green is going to give me 15, 18 feet to these
100%.
small greens. So let's just focus on middle of the green, just ignore the pin and see what happens. I think that's a great lesson for everybody listening at home.
That's something that I learned once I got to the PGA Tour really quickly. And my coach in college would always tell me that, you know, but in college you think you're better than what you really are, and you're staring at you're staring at that pin, and you just got one vision, which is fine. But you get to the PGA Tour and you can't really be short-sighted. I mean, it's pretty tough. It gets tough, and you learn how nice it is putting from the middle of the green. And if the target is small, then you're not going to have a long putt.
Harbortown, the 90% at Harbortown is even more impressive because, like, the fairways are A, tiny, but B, you can hit the fairway. If you're on the wrong side of the fairway, you might not even have a shot at the green. So it's not like your iron play is good. Like, it has to be perfect off the tee. Like, this needs to be left center or left of that to have a shot.
Yeah, you can be in the middle of the fairway and have to shape the shot to hit the green, which is something that I think is really cool.
Which would be cool if there's more places like that.
Exactly.
I might not be sitting behind this microphone.
Fewer Bethpages, more Harbortowns. Let's get back to the jump, though, dude. You're born in Texas, grew up in Reynosa, Mexico. What age? When did you start getting into the game of golf?
Since the get-go, man. My dad took me to the golf course in Reynosa, Mexico, where I grew up since I was pretty much in diapers. And then since then, I haven't stopped. So
It's pretty soon.
I grew up there. Like I said, I got pictures in diapers. Barely I could stand up, and I already had a golf club in my hand. First tournament, I was like 5 or 6 years old. And I grew up playing a little mini junior tour in Mexico, and that's kind of how I got started. And then after that, I wanted to pursue this in the States. I knew I wanted to go to college, so I moved to the States when I was...
Is it true Odessa is the only place that offered you a scholarship?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I didn't do a really good job just because I didn't really know how it worked, to be honest. I should have done a lot more homework, and I didn't play any AJG events or anything like that. So really, coaches didn't really know about me at all. So I got lucky. I was already done with school, with high school, and I was like, well, I don't have really any options. So that was really the only one. And Coach Chavez called me. He's like, hey, you want to come here and give you a full ride, play here. You play good, you can transfer somewhere else. Like, sweet, let's do it.
When you were growing up and just starting, like you said, you started so early. Like kids nowadays at 6, they've got a swing teacher and they got the technology and the video and all that. Were you growing up doing that same stuff, going to teachers early, or were you more like a home taught guy?
Yeah, no, I've never had a swing coach ever. I still don't. So
there it is.
He saw 47 of them. Maybe that's why you never made it.
No one could fix me. That's why I'm done.
So I mean, when I growing up there at just a local pro, there were a couple that were there, taught me just the most simple stuff, the basics, how to grip it, how to swing it, and that's it. After that, I've never had a lesson, never had a coach.
To this day, nothing.
This day, no.
So you're hitting it bad. You're not going on video or anything like that.
I mean, I have videos of myself, and I would like kind of look something different. But I know my swing that well now that I know what's wrong when I'm missing it right or whatever. I can manage my misses well, so that's something that I take advantage of, because I don't want to be messing and putting some other in my head. Is like once you start switching, and now a lot of things come into play that you don't even know, because now I know my swing really well. And if I'm being able to hit a low draw and a fade and high or low, then I don't really want to mess with it, to be honest.
Wow.
But
that's very impressive.
Unless there's a moment that I'm stuck and I can't get better, I feel like there's a little more that I'm just not getting, then maybe I will look into that. I do have a putting coach which has helped me tremendously. But other than that, I just kind of do it on my own.
That's refreshing.
Yeah. Well, your coach at Odessa said, you know, if you play well, you can go transfer somewhere else. You win the Jack Nicklaus Award while at Odessa, and you end up going to OU. Coach Ryan Hibble calls you. Did anybody else call you? Were you looking to go anywhere else, or was OU it?
Yeah, well, OU was the first big school that approached me and went and visited, and I was like kind of pretty blown away right off the bat. I liked the coaches as well too. There were other options on the table, actually quite a bit. Thankfully I had a really good year that year at Odessa, and but yeah, it was always kind of where I never really thought about going somewhere else. So Ryan Hibble was awesome to me. He gave me an offer I couldn't refuse to. So.
Car?
Yeah, I was gonna say, how many wheels do you have?
Everything was legal, guys. Yeah.
Kidding.
But,
what was the recruiting trip like, though? Did you go to a football game? I mean, Anthony Kim went there. He said he went to a football game.
No, it was not on season. But I played. I went there. I flew. It would just happen like that by my own. I had no idea like where I was going to. Will Kropp, former teammate of mine, we played around together. The golf course was beautiful. It was a great time. Like the fall, it was just awesome. And I fell in love with the place. I love that the golf course was right there on campus. So I can be done in school, and 3 minutes later, I'm teeing it up. So that was big for me. The coaches were awesome.
Jimmy Austin, is that the course?
Jimmy Austin, yeah.
See, that's always confused me with being at Oklahoma. Jimmy Austin, and you're in Norman, Oklahoma.
They should feel like they would rename that course.
Yeah,
very interesting.
I know everybody tells me the same thing. Yeah. But yeah, Jimmy Austin.
Damn it! I thought I was the only one who thought of that. I can't believe someone else thought of that.
You won twice early at OU, and you end up staying through your senior year. Any thoughts with like you go to Odessa, you win a bunch of times, win every award you can win. Go to OU, win twice right off the jump. Did you ever think about turning pro early?
Never did actually. No, I always wanted to have a plan B just in case golf didn't work out. I told my family that I wanted to just get my degree. And my dad and my mom didn't really care about like what degree. It's like just get done something that you enjoy, and after that you can just do whatever you want. You can turn pro.
What would have been Plan B?
Right now, selling tequila.
Selling
That's
tequila,
what I was about
perfect.
to say, dude.
There you go. Well done.
He's got A and B knocked out. He's one of those guys.
Yeah, but you turn pro after Oklahoma, and you kind of a slow start.
Yeah.
You know, eventually end up getting.
I met you there.
Yes, you did.
We played together.
We're gonna get to that. Don't worry about this.
We're
gonna get to that. Don't worry.
Really?
We're
I
in
don't
your
remember
head
much.
at all.
Mm-hmm.
Colt remembers.
Oh, I remember very well.
I can't wait to hear
We'll
this.
get to that at the end.
No,
Hopefully it's a good one.
It's great.
No,
it's great. It
fantastic.
makes you look great. It makes me look like an asshole.
Yep.
But we'll get to that.
That's fine.
But did it kind of surprise you that you struggled early on, right when you turned pro, with all the success you had in college?
No, not really. I've always been the guy that gets somewhere and doesn't feel like I'm gonna win. Mm-hmm. I've always been the guy that I get somewhere and it's like I gotta play my best to have a chance to be in the top. So I've never been the guy that was like, oh, this is gonna be a breeze. So, and I think that's what kind of has helped me throughout my career. And I've never been like the superstar or anything at any level. I've always been kind of there and just getting better, a little bit better. Mm-hmm. And I think that mentality has been kind of really good for me. I feel like I don't want to change that. I always want to be in that kind of frame of mind. And I actually learned a lot from where I struggled. I made it to the PGA Tour after a season and a half. And then I struggled. I played terrible golf my first year on the PGA Tour. And it was pretty brutal mentally. Not making a cut. But I did change a lot of things.
That's what I was going to ask. So your rookie year, you finished like 190th on the FedEx Cup. Mm-hmm. You go back, you have a good year on the what's now the Corn Ferry Tour, and you get back, and I think you finished 60th around the FedEx Cup your next year back. And then now all of a sudden you're 25th. You're 25th in the world.
Rocket ship.
At what point did it all kind of like click, or what change did you make that like just changed your game?
So that first year, I go from the Corn Ferry to the PGA Tour. I get to the first event, and I think it was Napa, hitting balls. I'm like in Disneyland, right? And then Rory, I think that's like the only time Rory has played that event. He sits up next to me. I'm like, fuck. You know?
Yeah, of course.
And I'm hitting balls, and I'm like just thinning it. It's cold. I'm like, man, this feels terrible. Yeah. And then seeing these 5 irons are just taking off, you know, and like flying like 215. I'm like, God, like, made me think like that. It really intimidated me, you know. It's like, man, I don't know if I have what it takes to be out here. And I was like, man, I need to hit it higher, because I normally hit it pretty low. You know, I grew up in the wind, and it's like, man, I need to hit it higher and like kind of farther. So I started tinkering. I started changing shafts and changing stuff. And long story short, everything went downhill bad. Like, I made too many changes. The shafts that I ended up using were terrible for me. My swing didn't even change. Like, I looked at a swing when I was, like, hitting it really well, and then I looked at a swing after that, those months of, like, trying new stuff, and he completely changed. That's when a swing coach will be handy, when you're changing stuff and you have other eyes to kind of look at you. But that was actually really good for me, because it taught me so many lessons in those months that I played just terrible golf by doing all those changes. And he made me realize that I didn't have to change anything. I just had to play my game, get better at what I'm already decent at, you know, and go from there. So I went back to the basics, played all the clubs that I played that got me there in the first place. Didn't change anything, went back to the Corn Ferry Tour and played great. I didn't win that year, but I played so solid that I think I finished like second on the money list without winning throughout the whole year. That gave me a lot of confidence, got on the PGA Tour, and just didn't change anything. I just kept doing the same thing, and I realized, I was like, man, I don't have to like hit it like anybody else, like, you know, like DJ or Rory, or, you know. And that gave me a lot of confidence, and from there I just kept doing my thing, and I haven't really changed anything.
Yeah, that second time you got on tour, where then you started having success, you started playing great. Do you think that was more of like, my game has developed and I'm a better player now from my rookie year, or was it rookie year just feeling like I don't belong out here, these guys are better, I got to change everything?
I think it was a little bit of both. Like I said, that first year that was such a rookie move. Everything I did, and that was good because I learned from it, and it was good that it happened. Everything, a lot of bad in such a period of time, that I can really learn of that and not do all those mistakes along the line, which I think that helped quite a bit.
I feel like that's a common thing. Like, tons of rookies have that. You know what I mean? They get up there and you see Rory and you're like, oh my god, dude, I don't hit it like that. I'm not good. I see DJ, and they all kind of fall into the same trap. Like, I don't belong. I need to change things. When really, you probably were good enough with your game that you brought to the tour at that time.
Yeah, I mean, you see it all the time. And I mean, I try to help young kids that come out there. I'm like, listen, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for you out there. Club reps are going to be coming up to you nonstop saying, hit this, learn how to say no.
Yeah.
And look, you're not playing against Rory and Tiger. You're playing against whatever golf course you're on. It's easier said than done. I'll never forget Martin Pillars was a rookie on the PGA Tour, and we were at Torrey Pines, and Tiger was playing for the first time that year. And I look over, and he's on the range, and he's filming Tiger hitting balls. And I'm like, hey, bud, you got to beat that guy this week.
Exactly.
You probably shouldn't be in awe of him right now. But it's hard not to be when you watch these guys on TV growing up. It's crazy out there.
Yeah, and it's like in college, you can't wait to get a new club. You know?
Oh yeah.
And now it's like, I can't wait. I mean, I just want my clubs not to break, like my 5-wood or something. Like, if that thing breaks, I'll be like heartbroken, you know, because I don't want to change that thing. It's so good. It goes exactly where I want to do. And it's something that a lot of the rookie guys might not really think about. You know, it's like, there's nothing sexier than making the putt. You know, a lot of things is like, well, this putt looks amazing, dude. Like, look how nice it looks. Yeah, but if you don't make anything, that's not even, you know what I mean?
Everyone falls into that trap. It's crazy, no matter what level you're at. You know what I mean? Like, I want the new, look at this new putter. It's like, and they don't make shit with it.
Exactly.
Like, well, what's the point? But now you're 25th in the world. Has your mindset changed now when you tee it up? They're like, I'm one of the guys to beat. I'm not just trying to belong out here. I'm trying to dominate this thing.
Well, obviously you want to have that confidence, right? And now I look at other players and I don't feel like, you know what I mean? Now I know that I play with most of the guys out there, and you got to have that confidence. But I'm never the guy that I'm like overconfident really at any time. I like to feel good about my game. I don't have like that many of the jitters of like, but I still obviously get nervous every single time I tee it up, and I feel like I belong, which is probably what it changed. But I don't feel like, you tell me you feel like the 25th player in the world, and I'm like, man, I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't. I feel like there's so much that I can get better at, and like, which is awesome knowing that I'm there. But I don't really like to like think about that. I don't want to get comfortable or anything. I want to keep building on what I'm doing.
Well, you are on a hell of an uprise right now. Yeah. I mean, you finished second, I think 3 times now on the PGA Tour. You become the first Mexican player to qualify for the President's Cup team. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, that was really cool, man. That experience was awesome. I love team events, and growing up playing soccer is just not, it's not only about you, which golf is all about you, right? So whenever you have the chance to feel that emotion with a team, with a captain and all that, man, that was awesome. My teammates were great. And to represent Mexico, bring Mexico to something big like that, it's awesome.
And y'all had a great chance to win. I mean, it was tight the whole way.
Yeah, it was pretty bro. That Sunday was pretty heartbroken for the whole team. We were really heartbroken. We wanted it bad. The international, I mean, that was the first time I played, obviously, but just of the stories, everybody said it the international team just really didn't have a chance at all in the past, I don't know, quite a bit of cups. So having a chance to win it there, it was kind of cool, obviously. But we were pretty heartbroken. We wanted it that bad.
Yeah, so much was made of the comments about Tiger. We're not going to get in to make you relive all that because it's all over the internet and stuff. My only question on that is, have you since, like, you cleared it up and kind of said what you were saying to Tiger, have you guys exchanged words? You and Tiger ever come up to him and been like, hey, man, I get it, or whatever? Has there been any conversation?
Not at all. I mean, I've seen it a couple of times at the events. We haven't really been in the same, like, room or anything. Kind of nodded or whatever, but no, he hasn't said really anything, no. Yeah, but it did kind of suck, that experience.
Yeah,
that was, man, that was so, like, because it was such a cool experience for me, that whole event. And then having said that, I would love to be playing my hero growing up in such it's such an awesome event, you know, like and then all of that got spun out, and I left that week, and I was like just like gassed. I was like, man, that sucked.
I mean, you went 3-1-1 though. I mean,
I know, but like exactly, I should have been really proud. But then when I left, I was like, man, I can't believe like that happened.
And you just said what every other player in the world. Of course, you want to play Tiger Woods. This is the guy.
Remember when you said you weren't going to talk about it?
Exactly.
It's fine. I mean,
well, I mean, we're just clearing it up. Like you said, we had John Rahm in here a while back. He played him in the Ryder Cup in Paris, and he was like, dude, when I found out I was playing Tiger, I couldn't have been more like, this is my idol. You know what I mean? Like, of course, I want to tee it up against that guy.
Exactly.
I mean, would you rather play Gary Woodland or Tiger? Of course you want to play Tiger.
Who wants Gary?
God,
there's no upside in Gary.
But you've been on an absolute run. You made back-to-back tour championships. You were scheduled to play your first Masters in April. Obviously, COVID ruined that. How excited are you to get to Augusta National in November? And have you been there yet?
I'm pumped. I haven't. I was going to go there and play my first round the Monday after the Players.
I think everyone that was qualified was going the Monday after the Players. That place was going to be packed.
There you go.
Good money games that day.
I was going to go there the Monday after the Players, and then obviously all that got canceled. But I'm pumped, man. That was the only major I didn't qualify last year. And there's nothing. I mean, I'm sure there's nothing like it. But I'm a huge fan of majors. It's a different feel when you walk in there, and I can't wait. I don't know how it's going to look in November. Maybe
some pictures the other day looked rather nice.
It looked nice. I don't know about the azaleas. I don't know if they're going to be blooming or not.
They'll figure it out.
I know.
They'll fly them in from wherever the hell they need to fly them in.
But I'm pumped. I guess two Masters in what, 5 months or less than 5 months?
5 months, yeah.
Yeah, that ain't bad. I want to go back to the President's Cup real quick. Nothing related to Tiger or whatever. But we've had guys in here from the U.S. Ryder Cup, U.S. President's Cup team. We've had European Ryder Cup players. We've never had an International President's Cup player in here. I want to know, I'm really infatuated by like the team room and the dynamic and stuff in there. Take us inside the international team room down in Melbourne. Who's the firecracker guy, the guy that keeps the energy up? Like, what are the roles everyone plays in there? Because the U.S. has guys like Phil. And
Had to have been Sungjae.
Sungjae, man, we got good stories about that guy. Very little English, Sungjae, but we call them Senmugi, which is big Korean weapon.
Oh,
big Korean weapon?
Yeah, that guy
name. Love that.
Does not miss. It's insane. Like, I've never seen anything like it. You just tell him, but he's so aggressive. I'm kind of going away from your question.
No, that's all right.
He's so aggressive. Like, he always look at spin. He doesn't care. Like, I'm going at this. I don't care. I'll get it up and down if I don't hit the green. And I guess Pepsi was caddy for him that week. Changes caddies all the time, I guess. And
they get tired.
He tells me, like, hey, man, please talk to him and just kind of show him, like, where to hit it. Because at Melbourne, you can't shoot at the pins. You have to, like, work the greens and super firm. And I was, like, walking down, and when he was my partner, he was like, Sanjay, right here. Like that, like 133 right there. And he was like, right there, okay. Whoosh, right at it, like perfect. Every time it's like, okay, perfect. So we had a great match. We did great. And going back to your question, Louis is probably the guy that I didn't really spend that much time before the President's Cup. He was always really nice to me and me to him, but we never really, like, talked a lot. He surprised me. The guy is so funny. Louis is so funny. Singing, karaoke, the rides back on the bus. We had a microphone. I mean, it was amazing. Nicest guys ever. All the Australians are crazy, great people. Adam Scott, definitely kind of like a Captain Vibe. Great guy that kind of pushes you and motivates you. He gave us a speech that we never really expected. I was just kind of like getting off the bus, and I was like, bro, I am ready.
I'm ready to go.
I am ready to play golf. Like, I never felt that. I was like, wow, this is awesome. And all the guys, we had a really good camaraderie, and I feel like the internationals have never really had that before of what they told me. They're always like, different countries, different languages. It's tough to connect, And this is the first year that everybody was like, man, we actually felt like a team, It was really cool. I think Ernie did an amazing job of prepping us before the President's Cup actually happens. Like, hey guys, you guys don't speak the same language, but figure it out, play some rounds together, something, so we don't get there. And he's like, okay, we got to be a team, So once, I feel like when we were there, we already felt somewhat as a team, and we kind of clicked, and it was kind of like the different factor that they had before.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to the President's Cup from now on. Like, I want it to be competitive.
Yeah, because you don't want to see that and then be like already done by like Saturday, Like,
do you think they keep those same captains together for the next President's Cup on the international side? Being that all the players seemed like they loved it.
Yeah, it was amazing. They already announced Trevor Immelman will be the captain for the next.
Do you think those other guys are? I know, but are they going to be involved like that same group? They did so well, and everyone was
they haven't announced. I hope so. I mean, I truly hope so. I think we had a great captains, great vibes. I think we had a great game. I mean, a great game plan, but I don't know if they're gonna do it. I mean, it is a lot. Being the captain, a lot of people don't realize what actually goes into it. Ernie was super invested, and it does take a lot of time and a lot more than people think, I will say.
Did you go to Ernie and are like, hey, here's who I want to play with, here's the guys I like, and this is who I match well with, or did he just say, everything. Here's who you're with?
He did everything. We had a group of guys there, and just they did everything. We didn't say, like, yeah, I want to play with this guy. It's just we kind of matched what games match with other guys, to make the best teams.
That's awesome. I imagine that's going to be a goal of yours throughout the rest of your careers, to be on every President's Cup
once I
team.
felt like that camaraderie and like how fun it was, I would love to play every single time.
That's cool.
Obviously.
Would you say, where does that rank in terms of your most memorable week playing golf of your career?
It's definitely up there, top 3. I mean, up there with, it's not like I've won a lot, but I mean, on the Australian Open win and my Corn Ferry Tour win, I obviously got to be up there, but it was awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, and the fans in Australia are sweet too.
Yeah.
They love their golf down there.
Call me Aussie Abe.
Aussie Abe down there?
Oh.
That's my nickname.
Aussie Abe and the big Korean weapon.
I don't know why. I do
dangerous.
like Australia, man. The golf courses are sick. You miss a green and you have like 3-4 options to kind of play a shot, and I think sometimes that's kind of what we miss here in the U.S. and in Mexico as well. You miss a green, you only have one shot. Like if you're in the rough, you just gotta chop it out. Over there, you got like bunch of options, flop shot or like a low spinner or like bank it off of that. It's so cool. I think it's amazing.
Firm and windy,
Yep.
like Odessa. Those Odessa days coming into play
I mean,
years later.
That did help, man. I was hitting
Odessa.
some bullets.
Honey, I'm from Odessa.
Odessa. It's in Odessa.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. We do this with every guest, Dave. We go to a little emergency 9 fun questions. Just get to know you a little better.
Okay.
All right. And I'm going to start it off today. We ask this to everyone. There's a movie made about the life of Abe Ancer. Who plays you? You can pick any actor.
Ooh. Say Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
I'm almost there. Look at this.
All right, you and Gary Woodland don't quite understand how the game works, but we'll get to it.
I'm almost there. We got the height. We got the height going.
All right, it's fair. I mean, it's your movie. You can have whoever. Gary said Denzel Washington for him, so don't really understand how that works.
Who'd you have?
I had a young Johnny Depp, mostly because of the facial hair and stuff.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
good.
I can see that.
Captain Jack.
Yeah.
I had the dude, and I don't know his name, but he's the star of Narcos. Mexico.
Yeah.
You watch that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the dude. Couldn't find his name. I don't know what I was doing, but that's him. Yeah.
Good research.
What's the other one?
No.
The next question.
Oh, we got a few more.
You're right.
More.
I'm trying to drag this out so I can drink a little more of this Fletcher.
We
All right,
do need a
next
little
question.
more.
You're a big putter collector. How many do you have, and what's your most prized putter?
I don't know where this came from that I'm a huge putter collector.
I read it.
It says it on your PGA
It's on the
Tour
internet.
bio.
It's definitely true.
I think that is super old, and I don't know if it's updated or not. But I do have quite a few putters. I do have an Odyssey number 5 that was made for me in Japan. That all the face is Damascus metal, all the front, which is pretty cool and rare. This crazy metal.
You ever putted with it, or just
Yeah, I mean, I have it there. I rolled it there in my office quite a bit, but I don't know. I don't want to take it out. Mine is working now, so I don't want to touch it.
I wouldn't change anything right now if I was you. All right,
That's
fair
fair.
enough.
All right. Next question. I know you're very passionate about race cars.
Mm-hmm.
If you weren't a golfer, I heard you might want to do that if it wasn't for tequila.
Be awesome.
So are you more passionate about race cars or just cars in general or tequila?
Definitely tequila.
You have to say that. You have to sign on your hat.
No, not really. I mean,
kidding.
I enjoy cars a lot. I watch every Formula One race. Got to cheer on my boy Checo Perez. You got a Mexican guy out there.
I love it.
You got to support it, right? But it's fun. I love all that. I love all the crazy engineering. How much they spend on research and changing a little bit of the tail of the. It just baffles me how much money they spend on little things that make a huge difference to like gain 0.001 seconds or stuff like that. So I think it's amazing.
You gotta have a screw loose to get in those things too and zip around they do.
Absolute rockets.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Give me the current hierarchy of Mexican athletes. Give me the top 3 in order. Most beloved athletes in Mexico right now.
Most beloved. Ooh, that's a tough question. I think this is Jorge Campos, which is my buddy. Loves golf. He's probably the most famous guy in soccer ever. I mean, he played. He's retired for a long time, but he's still. I go with him somewhere in Mexico. Nobody knows or has any idea who the hell I am. Mm-hmm. But anywhere we go, he is like taking pictures with every single guy holding babies and stuff. I was like, dude, what is going on? So Jorge Campos would definitely be up there.
Okay.
Obviously, Lorena Ochoa's got to be up there. She absolutely killed it.
I played a pro-am with her last year.
Mm-hmm.
We did it. They broke us up into teams, and I drew her, which I was like, oh my God, this is incredible.
Yeah.
The nicest woman on the planet.
It's amazing.
Awesome.
She's awesome and does a ton for charity. And she retired. I mean, I was like, man, she retired at her absolute peak, #1 in the world, and said, see ya.
When we played, she
like
still
Barry
had
Sanders.
This was last year. She still had all 14 clubs from the day she retired.
Yeah.
Being like G5 driver.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
They work.
She's awesome, and she's super nice. I've had a good week or something, and she like to send me a text, just always cheering me on. She's definitely a role model, man. She
That's
kind
Did
of
you beat her?
Yeah, dominated.
You did? Don't lie on this
I feel like
show,
it was
dude.
alternate.
We can fact check
I feel like it
this
was alternate
quick.
shot.
Okay.
But it's crazy how
all right.
competitive she still is. Like, she would hit a bad shot, and she'd get mad, and I was like, yes, I love this. This is great. All
But
right.
Canelo?
Canelo's definitely got to be up there, and also Checo Perez. I was going to go for Canelo's absolutely killed it in the boxing world. Also getting into golf. He's a golf nut now.
Yeah, he played
He's
Tahoe.
played in Tahoe this
You
year.
want to bet off Steph Curry.
So exactly.
Like just
So
started.
He's absolutely. I played with him in a WGC in Mexico on Monday. We had a little pro-am there, and we played together. He just started, and for like how little he's been playing, it's pretty good.
I might be wrong about this, but I thought he said he's been playing 10 months, and he shot like 84 that last day at the Tahoe.
That's a joke.
Yeah, when I played, he was been playing for like 6 months or 5 months.
He's just
Crazy.
one of those guys.
Yeah, and Checo in Formula One.
Got you. Okay. That's
All right.
good.
Yeah.
And then you're fifth.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking
Okay.
about me. I was just thinking. I mean, yeah.
Just
Slide
always stay
yourself
ahead of
into
Carlos
5.
Ortiz, the princess.
This is your
Yeah.
boy.
The princess.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. This one might hit a little close to home here. Does your caddy Dale Valley like tequila or Fireball better?
Fireball. It's not even a question. He doesn't even like. He doesn't like anything. He doesn't like. He doesn't like the taste of alcohol. To be. I mean,
I don't either. Except this.
Hey, look, we need a big rock.
Yeah,
But,
a big globe. Yeah.
But no, yeah, he definitely. So he doesn't really enjoy drinking.
He's a beauty. He's one of my favorite caddies out there.
I absolutely love him to death. He'll do anything for really anybody. Like, this guy is amazing.
He likes to gamble too, Sleaze. You'd like him.
Oh yeah,
Okay, I'm into him.
he'll gamble. on
Fireball
anything.
drinker likes to gamble.
Yeah.
All right.
I think
Sign me up.
I think over the break he was gambling on weather because there was no sports.
I love that.
Perfect.
I think he
Love
was
over
gambling
under
on
on the
like
temperature.
what are the odds that there's gonna rain in Vegas or whatever. He'll put a bet in or something. That's
Damn.
crazy.
I love this man. Never met him, but I feel like I know him.
He's fantastic.
You will absolutely love him.
All right,
for sure.
love him. All right, next question. This one's a little self-serving, but it kind of ties into Colt's final question. Did you know you were destined for greatness when you beat me at second stage at Q School in 2014? Did you know I was in the field?
I had no
Were you?
idea.
Was I on the radar?
He thought y'all just met today.
Yeah, we did.
I had no idea.
We did.
Where in Houston?
Kingwood, yeah.
In Houston?
Yeah, when it was freezing.
Oh my God,
Remember that?
I remember
it was like
that
winter
day.
times 100.
That was absolutely, what is it, Deerwood?
Deerwood.
That's where they filmed Tin Cup.
Tin Cup, yes,
I remember.
exactly. And that hole's impossible. Bogey
I
it every day.
it was
Bogey it
impossible.
every day. I just play it as a par 5.
It was no, I had no idea, and I was just trying to stay alive that week. It was freaking.
It was like
cold.
the movie Alive, but with golf clubs.
That sounds sweet.
It was
I hate
brutal.
that.
It was like 33, blowing and raining.
Legit the worst weather you could have.
Yeah.
We made it,
Houston
and then
and
we
winner.
went separate. We were at one time we were on the same level. Then we
Things change,
we
Mox.
diverted after that.
I mean, that weather, and you're actually playing for your future.
Yeah,
It
it's not
sucked.
fun.
Sucked.
All right, number 7.
Sorry, guys. I need to
No,
get
Get your
more.
little
Refill.
splash.
But do it as you're listening to this, okay?
Yeah.
Here we
We're
go.
gonna fast forward to your first PGA Tour win, okay?
Fast forward, okay?
You're gonna get this win, and you're gonna reward yourself with any car you want. What is Abe Ancer buying?
Any car. Oh, I
know
think
you're big in
I think I will go old. I think I will go with like a 1975 turbo Porsche.
All right. How many cars you got at home right now?
2.
2? What are they?
Yeah. A Raptor and
Ooh, I like Raptor.
Gotta have
Yeah.
a truck in Texas.
well, I mean, I go to the ranch all the time, so I mean, if you see it, is nobody wants to buy it from me. It's all scratched up. But I mean, I use it like it should be for a ranch truck, you know.
And what's the other one?
And Porsche, yeah.
Gotta go
All right.
fast.
You gotta have one of each.
Mhm.
That's it. Make sure it matches your outfit.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
next question. I think you have one of the most well-kept beards on the PGA Tour.
Well, thank you.
I want to know. Give me the maintenance
His-
on. Give me
his
that.
is pretty
I was
good
gonna
here.
say something about Colts, but I think yours is.
not
I
on the
really
PGA
like
Tour
what you, I
anymore.
really like what you do with this beard. So I need to know the maintenance on this thing. What's the trimming schedule like? Is there any sort of sheen or product in there? Because it always looks perfect on TV.
I don't do much. I got this just a little machine called the Peanut.
Peanut.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never heard of this.
Colt, you got one of those?
Peanut by I don't
Got a peanut.
Is it Wall maybe? I'm giving some shout outs here by Wall, I think
Yeah.
it is. And yeah, I just trim it with the level 1 guard.
Yeah.
And then take that off and just do the edging over here, and that's it.
Yeah, the edges
I'll have
are
to look
always
into this.
super tight. I love it.
Yeah, I don't
It
really-
looks like it's like a painting.
Yeah, I don't really do anything special. I just do that. Probably, I don't know, maybe once a week.
Damn.
That's it.
Man,
That's a gift.
I'm every day.
That's a gift.
it tight.
What do you daily?
Once a week.
Just
yeah.
on this,
on
and then
that thing?
like once a week I do a 2 guard around
Just
this.
tighten it up a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
each day, and then once
Yeah.
a week trim.
Yeah.
All right, I can't grow a beard, but when I do, I'll tell you guys.
maybe
my
one day.
maintenance. Yeah. Puberty.
All right, last question.
coming.
This is a big one. This is really tough for me to swallow, I'll be honest, okay?
Okay.
Not sure if you ever heard this or not, but we played together in Q School, final stage in Palm Springs. A lot of people ask me what I thought of your game.
Okay.
And I pride myself on this because I'm normally right.
Okay.
If guys destined for greatness, I normally predict it. I said, you know what? I don't think he has it. I don't think he's going to make it.
Who did you tell that?
A lot of people ask me this, I'll be honest.
Abe, you said it on radio a million times. It's like, this is my one whiff in the golf world. I played
Really?
with Abe. and
Do
I
you
said he
think
doesn't
this
have
will go down as one of the worst predictions in sports history?
It already is.
Well, I mean, there's not really much to debate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've killed it. I was wrong. I'm admitting to you that I was
I don't
wrong.
know
That's
what-
hard for me.
Well, I don't know what he meant. What you meant to like, he doesn't have it. Like he doesn't have it.
I just
to
didn't think
win.
you'd make it to the top level and be like a top player in the world or anything like that.
Why did you think I was able to stay on the PGA Tour or no? Or
Yeah,
you
Colt.
even say he's
Yeah,
not going to
Colt.
last on the PGA Tour?
I
can
think
say
the
it.
simple
You're not gonna
question was,
break my-
I think the simple question was, is he going to make it? Which means make it to the PGA Tour. And I said, I don't think so.
What a hater,
you go.
dude.
That's awesome.
What a
No,
hater.
I love being proven wrong. I mean, that's the first time.
You think
ever.
this hurts his chances of being CBS broadcaster? With the People are listening.
I've predicted enough right.
The
That's
suits
good.
are listening right
There's
now.
so
This
many-
kid's
I mean,
shit. He
there's so
can't
many-
even identify talent.
There's
He's
so many
done.
guys that up there that be wrong. It's so hard to like predict something like that. And there's so many guys that I played in college that you're like, wow, this guy's gonna be a stud, and then you don't even know where they are.
Dude, it's, I mean,
And then
There's
some
so
guys
many
that-
of those
yeah.
guys.
we'll be sitting around, and every time they show you on TV, on last groups, I'm like, God, did I whiff on this one so bad? And I'm happy I did because you're awesome.
Yes, you are. You proved him wrong, brother.
Yeah. Abe, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Yes.
Congratulations on your golf, Fletcher Azul, and thanks for
buddy.
bringing us some
Thanks
of it.
for the samples,
Yep.
my brother.
It's all
Here's
yours.
to you. Thanks
Yeah,
for doing
cheers.
it. dude.
Thanks so much,
We'll do
guys.
it
It was
again.
fun.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
All right, well, that was Abe Ancer. But before we talk about Abe, before the show, we actually sat down with him and his partner, Aaron Marquez of Fletcher Azul. They were able to loosen us up a little bit with some of their tequila. It was fantastic. But if you want to learn more about Fletcher Azul, here's Aaron and Abe.
Welcome to a special tequila talk. God, I'm not even drinking yet. Let me start that over. Welcome to a special tequila talk here on Golf Subpar. We are joined by Abe Ancer, the 25th ranked player in the world, his business partner, Mr. Aaron Marquez. They are the co-founders of their tequila company, Fletcher Azul, which, boys, I believe roughly translates to the Blue Fletcher.
Blue
Correct?
Arrow.
Blue Arrow.
Oh, okay.
Close
Got
enough.
it. Joke. Terrible. Whiff on the joke. Okay.
You should be a
Blue
spokesman
Arrow.
for
I knew
Fletcher
it was
Azul.
Blue
Blue
Arrow.
Arrow, yeah.
Blue Fletcher. Well, tell us about it, man. We got a couple samples here. I want to hear the whole origin of this, how you guys started doing this, when it started, everything.
You want me to start?
Sure.
Well, this thing actually started the whole project in a Pro-Am on the PGA Tour 4 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, in Fort Worth at Colonial. Obviously, you go there on Wednesday. You get paired with just random amateurs. Happened to be airing his probably 2 or 3 of his CEOs he was entertaining for his oil company, and we hit it off right off the bat. First hole, we were already talking about tequila. We both already had. We just love tequila even before the project, obviously, and we're talking about all that, and we just hit it off right away. And then after that at WGC Mexico, people kept asking, he was like, so what tequila do you bring? And then we resonated, and we thought about, like, it would be so cool to have our own tequila brand. And then after that, he was nonstop working on, doing all the research and stuff. And I mean, since then, we didn't stop to bring the best tequila that we can bring to market. So it's been a lot of fun. We're really proud of what we came out with, all the way from the design of the bottle, the logo, the actual juice. We're really proud to say that we don't cut any corners. The juice is as good as you're gonna get. From the 3rd oldest family in Mexico to ever make tequila that is still Mexican owned. A lot of companies now, they're owned by American companies and stuff, but this where we make it and everything is all how it's supposed to be, which is awesome, I think.
That's awesome. Where did the name come from?
So this is a cool story. We went back and forth. Like I said, everything has its own little story, but we're back and forth about names. Like what should we name it? And we want to do something that kind of resonates with us of our lives. We're both Mexican, and it's not like we had everything handed us. We had to work hard. We come from humble beginnings, and we really like the word of flecha. You have to really pull it back to be shot forward, and we kind of thought it sounded cool too. The word flecha is easy to say in both English and Spanish. And azul comes from, obviously, for the agave from the plant, and we that's why we picked that.
When we initially started talking about the concept of having a tequila, what we wanted to do is be able to introduce something that was authentic in the bottle, but also keep in mind that our market was American. Both of us grew up in the U.S., but we're Mexican, so we wanted to make sure that the juice was as original as possible, that it was not sweet and it was not colored. But we kept in mind, like, the bottle design, the name, the logo. But we wanted to be mindful that we wanted to introduce something different, not just something that's similar to everything else. And each taste profile that we have, it's good, it's fresh. We have a lot of friends that drink scotch, that drink whiskey, that drink vodka, and we have a profile for each person that drinks that. So, but one of the things that when we first started talking about it, because sometimes you're drinking and you're talking and it's just small talk, right? But being able to commercialize something and bring something to life, that's a whole different story. But one of the things that we agreed upon was, hey, if we can introduce something good, or something different, something better, let's don't do it. So the name came far after that, when we made several trips to Tequila, Jalisco. And you're talking about doing tastings to try to come up with a good profile. And we're over there on a Monday, and it's like 9:30, and I'm already spinning. I'm like, man, it's going to be a good day, But we did a lot of tastings trying to get the profile correct, trying to get everything fresh, and we're really very proud of it. We're so proud being from Texas, being raised in Texas. We commercialized in Texas primarily. And now we've had the opportunity now to be nationwide within the next couple of months. So it's been a blessing. The customers have really enjoyed it.
That's a pretty unbelievable story. You just met up randomly in a pro-am, having never met before.
I say this all the time.
Bam.
Yeah.
We talk about this all the time, Abe. I mean, it's like you never know who you're going to get paired with on a Wednesday in a pro-am. Like, be nice to everyone. Like, just talk to everyone, because you never know what can happen. And look at this, a business relationship starts out of it. But I got to say, this is the longest I've ever sat in front of a bottle of tequila without having a drink. So
yeah, we might as
we
well
get
a
a
taste
little
of
bit.
this thing.
For sure.
You know
Tell
what
us what we got.
So this one's the Cristalino. We got 5 profiles. This is limited edition, by the way. So if you go in the back, there's numbered. This is 787 out of 3,000. So there's only 3,000 out of this.
Wow.
And this is an añejo that was filtered 3 times, and that's why the color is gone. and it's made Cristalino, but it's already aged 18 months.
Wow.
So let's have
You got 5 different
5 different ones, yeah.
different types, right?
Yeah.
You guys know more about it than anybody. What are the y'all's 2 favorite?
Only heavy pours.
Okay.
So-
See that?
The last thing we need is a reson to get drunk on this podcast. We normally do it without even having anything in front of us. So this will be interesting. But which one are y'all's favorites?
Well, the Blanco is the base of all the tequilas. So one of the things that's different with ours is we use mature agave for everything. And before we cook it, we actually cut the piña in half, and we take the middle part, which is called the cojollo, and we take that out before we put it in the oven. And what that does, that eliminates the acidic taste of the tequila. So a lot of people, when they think of tequila, they think of something that you pinch your nose or suck a lime or whatever, and that's exactly what we wanted to keep away from. So we take additional process to create something that's pure, something that has great taste. And so people ask me, which one's your favorite tequila? And I remember when people asked my mom, like, what's your favorite son?
Yeah.
You can never say no. The one that I drink the most of is the Reposado. My favorite tequila is the Extra Añejo. But the Reposado, I drink it every day, unfortunately.
Sleaze isn't very good at sipping, so I don't think the extra.
Yeah,
would be
guys,
very good
I
for
got a
him.
little reputation of maybe getting a little too loose during these things. So
Well,
thank you.
cheers.
guys.
Cheers,
Yeah,
salute.
thank you so much
boys.
for coming on the show.
Yes, sir.
Can't wait to try this. All right, sold.
Abe, I read somewhere that you said this is
I like it.
what you like so much about tequila, and specifically yours, is like, I can drink this at night, have a good time, whatever, wake up 7 a.m., I'm on the range hitting balls. Like, the hangover is not like everything else.
Yeah, I
that
mean,
you
it's not
drink.
like I'm a huge partier. I'd like to say that I'm pretty responsible. But yeah, 6 or 7 years ago, I started drinking tequila, and I had the same kind of idea, like, oof, this is going to be rough tomorrow, And but I got a buddy of mine. I grew up hanging out with really older people than me, way older than me. I don't know why, but it's kind of worked out. And I'll go a little bit back. In the north part of Mexico where I grew up, for some reason, the thing to drink is obviously tequila, but also very common is just whiskey and scotch. I don't know why. Topo Chico and I don't know, whiskey or scotch or whatever. I don't know why it was really common or why that started, but that's kind of why I started drinking. And then, but I'll wake up and I'll just feel terrible, and it just kind of like put me down. It wasn't like a good buzz. Like I don't know how to explain it. I enjoyed the taste, but I didn't really get into it. Then my buddy was like, dude, you got to get on this tequila, like just high-end tequila, sip on that all night, don't mix it with anything, and let me know how you feel the next day. So one day we went and we sat at my house and we just drank a whole bottle of tequila, premium tequila, just me and him talking. We had a great time. We finished the bottle. I was like, bro, I mean, I'm going to feel terrible tomorrow. There's no way I'm going to be able, and I had to play because I already had a little game going on, like, I don't know, 9 in the morning or something. And I woke up and I was like, kind of like you wake up, just see like, how do you feel? And actually I was completely fine. I was like, wow. So after that, I ended up playing good. After that, that's all I drink. And I haven't really, and if I'm going to drink, I'm just going to drink the same thing. I'm not going to mix anything. I'm not going to take shots. I'm just going to be sipping on this all night, and I can, for my size, I can hang with anybody, really. Once you start mixing, that's where you get in trouble.
Totally.
So you just drink this all straight. You
Yeah.
don't mix it with it.
I don't mix.
Mixing
If you-
is for rookies, yeah?
No,
If
I
you see
mean,
a guy
if
mix
you
it,
like, if it's summer and you're out there at the beach or whatever, you can grab the Blanco, add a little club soda, lime, make like a ranch water or something like that. Or if you don't want to, you want to make like a margarita. There's ways you can do like skinny margaritas, so you don't add that much sugar, and it doesn't really get to you that bad, for the next day. So that's just kind of what I like to do.
What's y'all's goal with this Fletcher? Like, what do y'all want to do with this?
Well, our plans to, over the next few months to go nationwide, but we've had a lot of opportunities. And it's amazing how the game of golf, I mean, opens up so many different opportunities. But we've had opportunities to already go to Asia, to go to the UK. But our focus is going to be primarily in the United States. And then in the next few years, look at other options. But, really do feel that we have a great product. Abraham and I were playing at Dallas National, and the CEO of the largest distributor in the U.S. approached us because he saw Abe wearing the hat, and he said, "Who carries your product?" And we were only in Texas, and that opened up the opportunities again through the game of golf. And so our plans to be able to grow, and we really feel we have a good product that and tequila being the fastest growing liquor in the world helps. People are now more than ever worried about health and worried about being able to drink and be active in the morning or go to work or go to the golf course or whatever your profession may be. And so hopefully we're able to get the opportunity to introduce this all over the world.
And Abe, I feel like you wear the hat. I feel like a lot of people already know about Fletcher Azul who watch golf because they see you and they see it on the hat, and that's a huge marketing thing for you guys. Any ambitions to add another like PGA Tour player to the mix and like potentially put it on their hat or bag or anything like that?
Podcast people,
maybe some podcast guys that could really move the needle.
Free drinks for you guys going forward. We're gonna keep you guys stocked up over here.
Love that.
But there's definitely a lot of things that would probably be on the works. I don't know about in the world of golf, but maybe we'll venture out some other stuff that we don't want to jump ahead and say anything that is not solid. So, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the works that I'd be really excited about.
Beautiful TBD.
What's been amazing is we've had a lot of people that reached out to us, actors and other athletes, other golfers. It's been great that people that taste the product and they reach out, especially when it's something new. It's a new product, and we launched it during COVID, so it made things difficult to really introduce that product when you can't do tastings, you can't do we had a party scheduled at the WGC when we were going to introduce the brand, and that had to get canceled. So despite of all that, it's been a great introduction great reception to our brand.
Yeah, congratulations. It's fantastic. I love it.
Thank you so much.
Well, we'll be drinking it. We'll be getting a little bit sloppy, but for everyone listening out there that they want to get some Fletchers, how do they get it right now?
So right now we're only in Texas. If they visit fletchazul.com, there's a location app, that place where they can type in your address, and it kind of shows you to the next closest location to you. But I said that's going to change over the next few months. We should be all over the United States, which is incredible.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
I love it. Well, we'll be drinking it. We'll be pushing it. And thank you guys for coming here and sharing it.
Absolutely.
Thanks, buddy.
It's delicious.
Appreciate it.
All right.
That good? You like that?
Any other things you missed or
great.
didn't hit on?
No,
Very
Okay.
smooth. Yeah.
I said this before, just like you said, tequila. I think of college. I had some bad run with probably some
And
lowest
that's
rent
Añejo
tequila.
tequila,
You
too.
could
Yeah.
possibly
So
find.
the bad
And it
thing-
ruined it for me
Sipper.
for a while. So
Yeah.
now I'll like sip it, or I'll have a.
it's
put
just
Fresca in
it's
it,
a good-
like a little
Yeah,
Fresca
yeah.
to soften it. But like this is like pretty. Maybe I've just been drinking the wrong, because I don't drink it like Colt drinks tequila like all the time.
Yeah.
If I have anything, it's tequila splash of
The
Fresca.
same thing you said. I switched 2 years ago, I guess. I used to be Tito's and soda guy. Now I'm tequila. And I used to wake up in the morning and flinch at impact trying to hit golf balls.
Yeah.
And tequila, I wake up and I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Well, it's like the
Yeah.
only upper, right? Every other
Yeah.
booze is like a downer. This is a upper or whatever.
I don't know what the buzz is. Nice.
Yeah, I mean it's just
It's
a
a happy
good,
like
yeah, it's a
thing
happy
as opposed to like a
but-
whiskey. I don't drink whiskey
I don't-
really
like,
much
I
anymore,
never
'cause
get-
I just become like sloppy with that.
I know I've never get aggressive or anything.
Yeah.
But I did get like just kind of like down or tired or whatever. This I'm always just like happy and upbeat, and
Yeah.
it's been great.
Sleaze, I'm a tequila snob, and I have to say, I very much enjoyed Fletcher Azul.
Yeah, I had to watch myself after the Spieth, the last 15 minutes of the Spieth interview. I was like, look, you're setting me up for failure, guys. You can't come in here and promote an alcohol after I just had a little bit of an issue a few episodes ago. But, man, sipping that, I really want to make the transition to tequila. I know you drink it all the time. It's the only upper. It's the only thing, if you don't put it with any mixers, that's what gives you the bad hangovers and things like that. But I got to say, sitting there sipping that with Abe, that's pretty cool. And how about him? How about the way those two met? Like, you played a bunch of pro-ams. I've played a bunch of pro-ams on the Jicks, but never once did I get paired up with a guy on the first tee. I was like, oh, you want to maybe start a tequila company and launch it worldwide here in a few years? I was getting like plumbers and janitors and stuff. Like, I never had guys that were going to set me up with a tequila company.
The difference in the Jicks and the PGA Tour.
my
But I
back
always said
against
that.
the
You
wall.
never know who you're going to meet in these things, so be very nice to your foursome, because you never know. Things like this could happen. They've made an unbelievable product. Fletcher Azul, the Cristalino, which is what we were sipping on, I thought was awesome. I loved it. Definitely go check that out. But let's go back to Abe Ancer. I mean, first off, I was so embarrassed to ask that last question.
I want to tip my cap to you on that, because I take a lot of crap. We did the Spieth text, where I had a little mishap. We had the Romo wine spilling. I'm like, God, people are just going to think I'm a just complete degenerate
So
out
they're
here.
getting to know you.
They're getting to know me a little bit better. It's fairly accurate, but I was if you didn't ask it, I was going to ask it for you and be like, hey, Abe.
See, that's something I could have just kept to myself. But you
Right.
know what? I was wrong. I'll admit when I'm wrong. I'll be a man. But normally I'm really good at judging talent, I feel like. And I'm like, oh, what? This guy's got a game that can do it. That guy, I didn't think he did. And now look at him. He's top 30 in the world. He should have several wins on the PGA Tour. He's going to get one soon. There's no doubt about that. But, man, what a fun guy to just sit down and talk with, though.
Great guy. And you got to give props to him, the way he's pushing Fletcher, the way he's balancing a PGA career and also trying to push out this tequila company. And they're doing a great job with it. I know everybody sees the hat, when he's playing out there. If you didn't know what it was, now you know what it is. And his stuff is really, really good. But cool to get a little perspective on him because he's a guy that's quick. He's one of those guys that keeps getting better every year. Yeah. Every year he's just gradually getting better. Top 30 in the world right now. I mean, this guy's popping up everywhere, and I think he's got big things ahead of him. He'll definitely peel off a win here in not too long.
You look just a few years ago, his rookie year on tour, he finished around 190th on the FedEx Cup. I mean, it looked like this guy wasn't made for the PGA Tour. Now he's top 30 in the world. He's the first player from Mexico to be on the President's Cup team, and I believe he's going to get himself a win soon. So really thank him for sitting down with us. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got another big we got some other big guests coming up here soon. Should we release our second on the road trip for Golf Subpar? You want to tell them what we got?
They're letting us out of our cage once again. We're heading down to West Palm Beach, Florida. We've got a nice trifecta of interviews coming up. You might have heard of a couple of them. The young sensation Matthew Wolff, a guy that kind of dresses kind of fancy, which I know you like, Ricky Fowler. And my man, the number 3 ranked player in the world, Justin Thomas.
Yeah, just a little cruise down to South Florida, Jupiter, see how the boys are living. I see all these hashtag Jupe Life, on Twitter and social media and all that stuff. Want to see how they're living down there. But massive trip coming up soon. We're getting back on the road, getting the band back together, and some monsters coming up. Looking forward to it.
Well, stay tuned for that. But next week, Sleaze, we got Biz Nasty in the house. Paul Bissonnette, former hockey player, one of the co-hosts on Spittin' Chicklets.
Spittin' Chicklets, the monster hockey podcast. It's fun getting these hockey dudes in here. We've had Roenick in here before. These dudes open up in a way that not a lot of dudes open up before. He's definitely not afraid to tell some stories. Speaking of embarrassing yourself, like you and I have done here on the last few pods, this man ain't afraid to tell some stories either, dude.
No, he's great. Might not be suitable for all ages, but it's really, really entertaining. I hope y'all enjoy it. But that's going to do it for us this week. We'll talk to you on next week's Golf Subpar.